Hey, hello everybody. This is Mike Higby, Neighborhood Garage. Hey, I'm jacked up. I'm coming along on this old truck. It's moving along faster than I thought. Installing this Mustang 2 front suspension. I'm gonna get busy, start welding, cutting. Stay tuned. Tell me what you think. All right, I cut out my plates. I've got them tacked into the frame here. I'll just weld them up, and then next is cross member. Okay, I got my frame boxed in. I've got my cross member located. Whenever I took my front end out, just before I did, I measured center, and I actually ground it into the frame. That way I wouldn't lose where center was after they sandblasted it. So I got my cross member measured and centered, both sides. I've been creative. I've got a block of wood on a jack. This probably ain't ideal for a lot of people, but I got my lift set on the locks. I've shimmed it where it's completely level. Everything's level. And in my chassis, I put 1.5 degrees of rake in it. That way it'll have just a little bit of rake in it at ride height. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and tack my cross member in and go on to the next step. Okay, on this Mustang 2 front suspension, I got the upper control arm mounts mounted. They are centered with cross member. As you can see, I got a line there. You have to center it, line everything up. And whenever you put these on, they're not level this way. They have a rake to the back for the caster, for your alignment. But what you do want to do is make sure this here, from this point to here and to the other side, is level. And it is. So now it's mocked up. I got it tacked. Now I'm going to weld it all up. All right, I got everything welded up. Started bolting on parts. QL1 shocks, they're coilovers. Tubular control arms. Looks pretty good. Something I was going to show you is what's cool about this kit. Like right here, I've got everything bolted together. But down here, there's this gusset right there on the back side. It comes with this shim and gusset. You square it up, you weld it to the back of your cross member. Then when you take your lower control arm off, it'll obviously stay. But I left it off on this side so you could see this guy right here. Goes in here like this, slide it in. Put your bolt through, line it up, weld it up, tack it up, take it back apart. Anyways, making progress. We'll get back to it. So I've got it bolted in here. And as you can see, right here, the boot is hitting the frame. So this is just for example. I'll come out over here on the side, cut a radius here, take like a 3-inch piece of pipe, cut it in half, slide it in there, weld it up really nice. That way it's structurally strong. And I should be in good shape at that point. And then I can come back up here and finish boxing all this in and tie it all in real nice. That way it's good and stout. So let me get started on that and we'll see how it turns out. So hey, I'm back out here in the garage. Got my old buddy here with me, this torch, and a couple other buddies back here, cut off wheel. Things ain't going right, just get one of them babies out and make it happen. But anyways, trying to work on this power steering rack, and it don't fit. Who would have thought back in 45 they wouldn't make clearance for a steering rack? But anyways, let's check it out. All right, I got the frame cut out here for the steering rack for clearance. Pre-cut my pieces of pipe. I'm gonna put these up in here like so. Have a nice radius to it. Weld that up. Steering rack will go right through there. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, well, there's just one thing left to do. Everything's mocked up. Got to finish boxing this in right here. But as you can see, I got the rack clearanced. Turned out pretty good. Ain't got to worry about it rubbing on the rubber right here. Use some heavy gauge steel. That way it's good and strong for the frame. So it's all together. Now it's time to, like I said, box all this in, move on to the 4-link. So finishing up here, this weekend, got this Mustang 2 kit installed. You might ask where I got it from. I chose to go with Speedway. It was just easy for me. I work with the tech department. Also want to thank Jamie Johnson and Larry at Rusty Rods in Marshfield. I had a few questions I asked them. They was glad to help out. I came home. You know, it only took a day to install this. It's not that big a deal. It's just a lot of measuring. Like they always say, measure 3 or 4 times, cut once. But anyways, I want to take a couple weeks off, and then I'll be back on this project. In the meantime, if you don't mind, like and share this, and we'll see what's up next.